Wait, if you exit off this video, you exit off the last chance for you to get your relationship right. Welcome to Healing Black Relationships. I'm your host, Kent. And here I'll be hosting my shows personally, speaking on subject matters of black relationships and what is needed to be successful. So I'm just going to jump right into it. So one of the issues that we have with black women is that they come from an emotional perspective when it comes to dealing with us. Half of them do not know how to engage with us. They don't know how to talk to us. They don't know how to, come from a perspective where they see it from our lens. They speak from emotional content instead of actual facts, and that's where the disconnect happens. For example, when men talk about sports, let's say we'll use LeBron as an example, just for this example. Whether you like LeBron, I was using it as an example. When we talk about LeBron, and we talking with the fellas, and we talking with the guys, we're not going to emotionally talk about what LeBron has done. If we did that, there would be multiple conversations that doesn't make any sense. When we speak of LeBron, we talk of actual stats. If LeBron dropped 30 against the Wizards, he dropped 30. That's facts. When we look at the stats after the game, that's why this is not something that I made up. This is something that has always been. When we look at sports, right after the game, they show you the stats. That same type of stats is applied to life, where you can look up the stats yourself when it comes to all races, depending on what category or topic you're talking about. When we're talking about LeBron dropping 30, he actually dropped 30. So as a result of him dropping 30, if you know your stats, and you know what most men do, we know our stats, we're going to go talk to the next guy and be like, LeBron dropped 30. And if he knows his stats, and he also follows sports like how I do, he's going to agree with me. There's not going to be a disagreement. That's why when men get together and we talk about sports, we understand each other because we speak from facts. Most women don't speak from facts. They speak from their emotional feelings. And we can't relate with you because we don't talk from our feelings. We talk from a logical mind. Men are more logical than women, and women are more on the emotional side. So that's where that disconnect happens. If you stay out of the emotional side and come to reality and start talking about what is actually facts, there will be a connect. This is across the board. There will be a connection. And for the first time, we will be like, oh shit, she understands me. Let me take the time to understand her. So it is very important that I need my black women to understand this. I'm not here to bash you. I'm just here telling you the facts about yourselves and why you're upset. Why there shouldn't be no reason to be upset when you see a black man dating a Mexican woman. There should be no reason for you to be upset when a black man dates an Asian woman. You should not be upset when a black man dates outside of his race other than you. 30%, I'm giving you stats, and people get upset because they're ignorant, they didn't take the time to actually learn what I learned, which is the actual facts like I use with the metaphor. 30% of black males with a bachelor's degree marry outside of the black race. Meaning they don't marry black women. They marry Mexican, they marry white, they marry everybody else other than black women. Why do you think that is? Let me give you some examples. I personally have 5 friends that I can call right now and come on this show and speak for you. These 5 friends are married to women outside of their race, and yes, they are black men. And I each interviewed every last one of them within the past week, and all the stories somehow came to one big point. I asked one of them, I was just like, well, I asked all of them actually, but one of them in particular, which was my closest friend, I asked him, I said, why did you marry your Hispanic wife? Why didn't you just marry like within your race and stick with the black women? He was like, man, because look, it's a night and day difference. When he said night and day, that just says a lot. And he was like, in his consistent relationships that he's had, it's been the same thing with black women. And most black women were going to get defensive and going to be like, oh, well, he just dated the wrong ones. No, I mean, if you date 15 women and all 15 are the same, that's pretty much a lot of you. I would have seen if there's 5 of you that are, got your shit together, and then the other 10, they're knockoffs, waste of times, that's cool. But if you date 15 women from 15 different backgrounds, from 15 different incomes, and the end result is still the same, that says something about you. That says nothing about us. That says something about you. And black women out of most races hate to be held accountable. So before I go off and back that up, I'm going to go back to my friend. So my friend was like, man, the difference between my wife right now and all of the black women I've dated prior to that is the care. She don't give a fuck. She say she do, but her actions, listen, hold on to it, listen to what he's saying. Her actions is not lining up with what she's telling me. She tell me she love me, but when I come home, shit ain't cooked. And black women want to get upset, will be like, man, well, if I gotta work, then how am I gonna have time to come cook for you? See, the issue is a lot of y'all are not wife material, man. I'm just gonna be honest with you. A lot of y'all are not wife material. What I mean by that, y'all weren't raised in a way to be modeled, to be a wife, to be able to understand that you have a king in your life. Doesn't matter about the economic, financial situation with that man. I'm talking about knowing how to treat a black man, because you got women who across the country that are extremely poor, but they would give their last for their man. These are the women that are getting married, and quite frankly, black women, you're losing a lot of great kings to the lack of care. He was like, when I come home, I always got a home cooked meal. When I come home, she asks me how my day was. She don't go off and get into her emotions, and now I gotta ask her, yo, what's going on with you? Because the vibe when I came home is different. And then just cause me telling her, oh, the vibe is different, now we get into an argument. That shouldn't be an argument. But this is what happens every day with black women when you get in a lot of relationships with them. They're very argumentative. Nobody wants to come home to arguing with a woman after you had a long day of work. You got to be held accountable for this stuff. This is the stuff that you have to be held accountable for. It's because of the lack of care. You don't give a fuck. If I surveyed 100 black women right now, maybe 90% would say they would have a don't give a fuck attitude, because that's been pushed into the culture to not give a fuck about what nobody got to say. The savage mentality. Let's talk about that. The savage mentality. That shit is making you die alone. That's just gonna make you die alone. You gotta give a fuck about some things. And when a black man gets into a relationship with you, now it becomes a head-to-head it becomes the Bengals versus the Dolphins. It shouldn't be like that. It should be he's the quarterback of the team, and you are whatever else player on the team. I'm not giving you a specific title, but I'm just giving you an example. He calls the plays, you follow through, he leads you to a championship, and y'all win together. That's what it's supposed to be. It's not supposed to be you playing defense and he's on offense, trying to figure out how to handle your blitz. And for all of the women who watch sports, you know exactly what I mean. You should be laughing right now, because that's how a lot of women come at us. Like they're trying to blitz us with the bullshit. But black man has came to a point now, we ain't dealing with the blitz bullshit. We gonna roll out, we gonna throw the ball away, or we gonna roll out and run it ourselves like Cam Newton and get that first down. We're gonna win regardless. Whether you like it or not, we're gonna win. And then you got some women that are like, well, all the good men that are out here, a lot of them on the down low. That's a cop-out excuse. That's your way of reflecting what you could have, but you decided to tell yourself, oh, I'm going to use this excuse and say all black men are gay or on the down low because I didn't get what I want. Okay, watch this now. Watch me turn the tables on y'all. There's a lot of black women that are on the down low. We think we dating y'all, but y'all got a fucking side piece on the side. That's a woman. What about that? And the thing about y'all, a lot of y'all are bold about y'all dating women on the side. Some of y'all side pieces coming forward and saying that they y'all side pieces. One of my friends just recently told me, he was dating this girl for about 5 months. And he was like, his homegirl or her girlfriend always came around, and when she came around with them, when she came over to visit them, she always would make jokes for like, oh, okay, well, you could have her during the week, but on the weekend she mine. And then because black men, we're confident, we're not thinking shit about that. We like, yeah, whatever, bitch. But we're not taking anything of it. But y'all be serious. 8 months into the relationship, he decides to come home early. He catches both of them in the bed. What about that? That happens a lot. A lot of you black women on the down low because you've been hurt, and now you decide that, oh, I don't want to deal with black men anymore. I want to go try the opposite race. But I'm about to fuck your head up right now. In my opinion, I'm not an advocate of supporting gay relationships because it's a lot of confusion involved with that. For instance, I'm gonna make you think about something for a second. Does it make sense for you to be hurt by a man, claim you want to leave that man and never deal with a man ever again, but you go to a relationship with a woman portraying to be the man that you said that you was going to run away from? If that's not the stupidest thing I've ever saw or heard, then something's wrong with you. You need counseling right now. That's confusion at the highest level. If you're going to be with a woman, then be with a woman because she's feminine. She should be, this is what you're into, a woman because she's feminine. Not trying to portray a masculine male, because you will never be us. We laugh at y'all on the low when we see y'all looking like that. Look at this knockoff us. It's equivalent to like how some people see security guards trying to be police officers. On the low, I'm sure police officers are laughing at them. Look at them knock off us. Trying to be us. You will never be us. Be your damn self. Be who you are. You're important for where you are. Don't try to be like us. You can never be us. And that goes for men and women. Men that has been hurt by women, they try to, turn off and be gay or whatever, be transsexual, whatever you want to call it. You will never be a woman, period. If you've been hurt by a woman, why are you trying to portray something you were hurt by? That does not make sense. And no one can make sense of that without making a fool of themselves, because it does not make logical sense. And going back to what I said earlier, you got to make logical sense. You have to your stats has to be on the board where everyone can see and agree to. If your stats is not on the board, then your shit don't make sense. So this is just an introduction video for some of the topics that I'm gonna be getting into every week, once a week. I hope you guys took from this. You have multiple questions, leave it down in the comment section on what I said, whether you agree or whether you disagree. The video is still gonna be coming because I got the facts down, and I'm trying to have the facts line up with you guys so that you can pay attention to what we need to do as a community, so that our relationships can now be black on black. It can now be, we could change that 1 out of 3 black women will marry. We will change that to 3 out of 3 black women will marry. Or at least 2 out of 3 black women will marry. We want to change that up. And the way we change it up is you women have to do something about it. You gotta be that playmaker in the game right now. You gotta make a play for the black women right now, because y'all losing right now. To be honest, y'all losing. So if you are the greatest like you portray yourself to be, then we need to see you put up drop 40 right now. We need to see you be Kobe, rest in peace. We need to see you be Kobe and drop 61. You got to step up and take over the game right now, because right now y'all losing. Y'all losing by 40 points right now. So let that motivate you to become the greater version of yourself. And I'm going to end by saying we want to marry y'all. We want to be with y'all. We only want to be. It's nothing like being with a black woman who got her shit together. It's nothing like it. No race can compete with that. But it's far in between that many of you out here. So, like I said, like, share, subscribe, comment below on your thoughts. It's all welcome. But healing black relationships is what it's about. Until next time, I'm your host, Kent. Be safe out there. Make sure you be mindful in the decisions that you make when you get into relationships, and try to better yourself. Peace.